Welcome to Between the Sheets podcast, where we explore midlife and everything in between, with your hosts, Dr. Samantha Worthington and Brendan Neal. Sam.
Good afternoon, Brendan.
Here we are.
Again.
Excellent.
We have so much to talk about.
We do.
Yeah.
Today's a great one.
Yes.
What are we on about today?
We are talking about midlife makeovers.
Oh, is that? So we're going straight down like Botox, bit of plastic surgery and enhancements.
No. We're talking about real change. And I know all of our listeners who are in their midlife or have passed their midlife have definitely had one of those experiences.
Right.
Where they're hitting a big change in their life. And there's all the emotions and feelings that go with it. The menopausal rage, I think we've spoken about that.
Oh, yes.
Yes. I think a lot of people get to a stage in their lives where things are about to change. And I think that happens at midlife.
A midlife makeover.
Have you had one?
Oh, can I use the term midlife rebirth?
Oh, I like that one.
Ooh, yeah.
That's much better. Okay. So like a phoenix coming out of the ashes, Brendan, is that your story?
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
That's my son's middle name.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
Got it straight out of that whole meaning there.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So
why did you do that? Why did you use that as a middle name?
Soon before he was born, I remember seeing Gladiator on TV.
Okay.
And, Joaquin Phoenix,
yes.
who's one of the characters in there.
Yes, I had a crush on his brother, River.
Yes. So I was looking at him in that movie and I was thinking, how he has that cut the hair lip sort of thing.
Yeah,
in the cleft, and,
I think, yeah.
And, for someone to, like River was a handsome devil, right? And so typically when you go back to, what was that like in the 90s, Phoenix was somewhat of a superstar. To be a superstar in Hollywood, you needed to be like exceptionally good looking and have all these other skills as well.
He was like James Deanish, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So I was there and I was watching Joaquin Phoenix there and, we had a first name sorted out and I thought of his whole thing. He looked such an acclaimed actor who had overcome those obstacles and, as far as, the perfect looks and everything. And he was a brilliant actor as well. And so just that whole Phoenix just got to me. And then the meaning of Phoenix of, coming out of the what is it? The ashes of the funeral pyre, isn't it? Is that all I picture is like, the side of the Ganges River or something and they're cooking up dead people. It's like, hang on.
Is that culturally appropriate?
Yeah, okay. Maybe I'm thinking Game of Thrones. I don't know.
So your midlife makeover, midlife crisis. No?
I'm not in crisis. What are you talking about?
So we can put so many names to it, right?
Yes, yeah.
Your midlife makeover, you would like to call it a midlife rebirth.
I think it's a fantastic opportunity whenever there's any changes and midlife brings on a certain amount of changes and questioning.
Why?
That you have, well, for a whole heap of reasons. However, it gives you that opportunity where you can really take stock and maybe recalibrate where your life is and go, okay, what am I going to do from here on in?
Okay. And when did that happen for you?
Oh, we're going straight into the personal stuff.
Yeah, I'm going straight there. Because you sometimes dodge it, So now you can.
Usually with good reason. I need to keep a bit of something intact here instead of bearing it out.
Yeah, well, it will help other people.
Okay, yeah. One of the things now, how about I'll approach this from the male side.
Yes.
Because that's my lived experience.
Okay.
And you can fill in the female side. How does that sound?
I can fill in the female side up to a point because I'm younger than you are.
Much younger. Okay, so I think in reading on this sort of topic and everything, I came across so many interesting papers and articles. And a recurring theme there was on the male side, when you hit like midlife, the sorts of things that you start to become aware of And I read them and I just went, oh my God, that's me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
now this is, you sent me a summary of some of these things yesterday, last night. And in my head, I was going tick, 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 tick for the woman, right? For the female side. I was like, every single one. Yep. Yeah. That's me. That's me. I'm in the middle of that, or hopefully the middle of it, not the beginning. So yeah, I think a lot of people identify with exactly what you're saying. You see it and you're like, yeah, that's me.
Yeah, completely. So the symptoms, I guess, or the things that men notice as they hit midlife. Characteristics, that's good.
Okay, yeah.
There's a gradual drop of testosterone, which is a big shaping hormone for men. And with the decline of that over a period of time, you will start, you may not even notice, however, gradually, like you're losing a bit of muscle mass. It is easier to put on weight. You become a little bit more lethargic. Your libido goes down somewhat. Your performance isn't as great as it used to be across all fronts. And yeah, so that triggers a response in men that is like a loss of youth. And
like an emotional response?
Yeah, an emotional response. And also an awareness of your mortality. And I think there's probably quite a few things that converge together as you hit midlife that would really spark that on. And I was able to relate to a lot of this. So you look around and you know that, hey, someone you know has died from a health-related issue,
like
not an accident or something.
Like that. Yeah.
And so that happens and you go, wow, that why isn't that me? And for a man, typically when you're younger, you have very little regard for how long you're going to live. You take on board that, hey, I'm going to live forever, Peter Pan sort of effect or something.
Do you think men carry that more than women? Because with insurance organizations and companies, usually a male insurance on a car, for example, or life insurance is higher than a woman. So do you think that generally men are more or less risk adverse than women?
Yes. So what happens in midlife quite often is that, you're talking about the emotions around that. So the response is, okay, how do I capture more youth? I'll start making more reckless decisions. I'll take more risks. It's quite common in midlife.
So it has the opposite effect.
Well, you're trying to reclaim your youth. So
you become more reckless?
Yeah, because you're trying to get back into contact with how you were, like when you were much younger.
Okay.
So what do you do there? So, you buy a sports car and you drive that thing because now you got a bit of money and you bring on a bit more status in that as well. And you may be sending signals that like, hey, I'm still, somewhat of a catch or don't mess with me. I'm maybe an old dog, but I'm
still cool.
I've still got it. Yeah.
Yeah. So what would you say then to women that are listening to this, that are married to men that have just bought a sports car, that are going through something like this? Yeah,
well, certainly I think fun and excitement needs to be thrown in there.
Okay.
And I think that's perhaps a piece of common ground that both men and women can find in midlife because, we've sort of spoken about it before. The alternative is, to feel younger, a man may go and chase a younger woman and have an affair or do something like that. And, what do you do if you've been married for some time and all of a sudden you're choosing a younger version of your wife or a completely different woman to excite you? It's not going to end too well, is it? Yeah. When in fact, it may be that your wife is pretty bored as well.
Yeah.
And once again, it comes down to how do you bring that to the table? So for guys, that's not necessarily our forte of how we share that. And so
how you communicate.
Yeah. So when we talk about emotions and that, a man may also display a bit of grumpiness around that and general discontentment. Like,
what about blame?
Oh yeah.
Blaming their wife for the fact that maybe they now overweight or they're not doing the things that they want to do anymore or they don't have friends anymore because the wife didn't really get on with the other wives or something like that. Do you think that also happens?
Oh, For certain.
Yeah.
I would imagine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if you brought up children together, because it's not uncommon for your friend circle to be directly related to the children's circle. Quite often, the mum is the one who's having much more of the interaction around the children and all those activities associated, that school interaction and everything. So it's quite natural. And I see it all the time, and I've experienced it, where the mums make friends with other mums. As a man, you're tagging along with your wife or your partner, and become friends around the kids.
I struggle with that one a bit. I attended a school event this morning for my son who was getting an award, and I was the first person to sit down in the parent section. On either side of me, there were 2 seats available, and all the mums were sitting quite far away from me. So I don't really make mum friends that easily.
How packed was it?
It was full. Yeah, it was full.
Right.
And it was...
Could you have named a single parent there?
No.
Okay.
No. Are you saying because I'm not friendly? Or
No, I'm saying perhaps if you'd met them before.
Maybe.
However, it was a good opportunity for someone to say, hey, how you going?
Yeah. So it's not like they all knew each other. So, that's an assumption, right? Like for me, I never really
Were you sitting in the front row?
I was. I was sitting in the front row.
To get a good photo of your son?
Yeah, well, so that he could see I was there.
Yeah,
right? Yeah,
fantastic.
He couldn't miss me, right, on my own. Sitting there in a sea of empty chairs. From a female perspective, getting to that point where also the hormones drop. So I think from 40, right, your hormones drop. And I know you and I have spoken about this before. And I was absolutely adamant that, like, it's mindset, right? It's totally mindset. Nothing's happening to me.
Yeah.
When those hormones drop, you've got the same questions that a woman is having. The questions of, what am I actually doing with my life? I've spent half my life or my whole life trying to get married, trying to, raise children, be a mom, be a wife. And now my kids are really rude. Don't speak to me when I speak to them, busy with their friends or their girlfriends or boyfriends, and what's in it for me? And then the wife looks across at her husband who's overweight and blaming her, thinking to herself, is this my life? I don't know if I want to do this for another 40 years.
Yeah.
Right? So same, but different. And I think a lot of the time at this stage as well, women haven't worked full time. A majority of women haven't worked full time because they've had to raise children.
Yeah.
So it's very common for a woman to start looking at, well, what is my actual purpose in midlife? For a woman, that's about excitement. That's about the emotions that come with change and experiencing different things. And purpose is one of them. I don't know if men have the same thing because they've been working. What about like change of purpose? Do men experience that, would you say?
Some would. I did find some statistics around jobs and career changes. And midlife men, the most common age for a career change was 43 years old.
Oh.
Yeah.
And
that's career change as opposed to job.
Okay.
So job is, you may have a profession or something.
Are you mansplaining me?
This is for the people at home, not for you. I did find it. Every 2 years, 9 months is the average time to change jobs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's a statistic I'm familiar with. I think for women as well, it's a very good way to get promoted. There's research behind this with men as they get older and they reach midlife. Women that have been in business, if they stay in the same organization, they are often overlooked for promotion in favor of a man who may have less experience or qualifications or have been with the organization for less time than the woman.
Yeah.
And all of those reasons, right, that we've spoken about before. She's not the breadwinner. She has children. She's unable to go to all the events because she's at home with her kids. So oftentimes that change or that jump in career, women do that by changing jobs, changing employers.
That's common for men too.
Okay.
Bounce your way up.
Yeah.
By jumping around. However, I can see what you're saying as well within the same organization. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I think, so you asked me about, is it the same for men and of the stuff you just outlined for women? Let's say that midlife rebirth opportunity, that hitting midlife, the crisis-y part of it. For women, it seems like they're arriving.
Yes.
They're getting somewhere.
Yes.
And perhaps for men, it's more about escaping.
Okay.
Or
escaping what? Responsibility.
Seeing your path laid out in front of you and not wanting to go down it. So it's almost about turning it upside down in some respects. Yeah, it's like reclaiming youth, like I said earlier. Yeah, perhaps.
And you think with women, it's more about finding herself?
Well, like you said, it's about finding purpose. It's about, reevaluating your role. You've been a caregiver, a mum, a wife, or a partner, or something, and
you've been in those roles.
Yeah. And now some of those responsibilities have eased up. They're not as demanding, and you may be looking at maybe your next obligation that everyone just sees on you is taking care of a parent as they're older or something. And I can imagine a lot of women are going, "Whoa, hang on, where's my trip to Rome?" Like,
yes,
I wanted to go to Barcelona.
That's right.
Like,
absolutely.
When's this going to happen?
Yeah.
So I've witnessed that a lot, and being close to women when they've gone through that.
Okay.
Where they've get that sense of freedom, and it is a thing of like, hang on, and they make changes, and they seem to be good at doing that, and perhaps that's why over 70% of divorces are initiated by women, because they've become more aware of these parts as well, or not these parts. What's
maybe
going on?
Maybe they just want more.
Yeah.
Maybe they just want more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you trying to say we're simple?
No.
I just want a couch. I just want to watch the footy. Let me drink a beer.
No, I think it's as simple as. That's what I mean. I think it's as simple as, is this it? Is this going to be the rest of my life?
What's that Jack Nicholson movie? And he says, "Is this as good as it gets?"
Oh, something's got to give.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. It's. I think it's just that when you say men question their mortality,
yes,
I think women question, like I said, their purpose. Like, is this it?
Yeah.
Is this my only role? Mother, wife. Now, who am I? There's so many books about it and films about it, right? Where a woman goes off to learn about herself, discover herself, all of these.
Yeah.
I watched this incredible movie years ago, and it still sits with me, and it was in Italian. And it was about exactly that. This woman who had been dutiful, raised her children, worked in her husband's business, and one day she just had enough, got in the car. Everyone was running after the car. She just drove away, got on a plane, and went to go and stay in this ridiculously tiny house or B&B or whatever on a cliff of with an
overlooking
ocean.
the Mediterranean.
Absolutely, like in Italy or something like that. And what she discovered about herself, like all the things that she loved, that she had given up. So when you talk about how men look at reclaiming what they had in their youth, I think women have that as well, where they think, well, when I was younger, before I got married, I loved to dance. I loved to eat this or eat that or whatever. I loved to, run on the sand barefoot and be full of mud, or they loved it, right? Like women don't have those restrictions until they hit a certain age. So I think that rediscovery and rediscovering it with more maturity and consciousness, I think that's what happens to women. That's what happened to me anyway.
I think also women are quite good at reaching out for support or for seeking help or for at least discovering and learning.
Yes.
Another thing I saw in the data was the amount of middle-aged women who go to university.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's like mature students.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
And, the contrast with men, it was, far more women would go back to university as a middle-aged person.
Because now it's her time, right? Now she can actually, she doesn't have the children.
Yeah. And when you think about it, if a male has been, going for over 20 years in a career or a combination of careers, they've probably already amassed the amount of further study they want to do and, everything's just about refining their career and opportunities. So they've had that time most likely uninterrupted, where you said, like you've said, most women who've had children will be pulled out of the workforce for at least part of that time. The family may choose to run it that way, where, so it is like a fresh start.
Yeah.
For a woman, she's like, well, I used to do this, an occupation. However, I've been looking around. I'd love to have a crack at something completely different.
So here's a question for you. Do you know, out of all those women that they surveyed that went back or went to university at middle-aged, did they have a qualification before that? Was that their first qualification?
I don't know that data.
Yeah.
It didn't outline
I think that would be quite interesting.
That would be an interesting one.
Yeah. And your mum did that. Your mum went back to work, didn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah. After you guys were a bit older, she did that?
Yeah. So she was a nurse, a midwife, and then she had us.
Yes.
Yeah. Became a midwife again.
Yes.
And then decided to do social work.
Yeah. So also change of career.
You just reminded me, today would have been Reggie's 101st birthday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
it's possible.
So it is possible to live that long?
Yeah.
Yeah. So for everyone at home, Reggie passed away last week, and he was a tremendous man who had many careers. Yeah. He was a very inspiring man and lived a very full life.
Yeah.
And very humble as well. He was a bit rare. Like, there's not many men from his era, born in like 1923 or so, that would have changed careers so much. Yeah. In his own words, after the Second World War, was a bit restless and didn't quite fit in.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's like you and me.
I don't fit. Yeah.
He was married twice.
Yeah. Yes.
When did he marry his second wife?
Quite a long time ago. So he got divorced. And however,
do you think that was like his midlife?
Yeah, it probably was. Yeah, perhaps. Yeah, I'm just trying to. Actually, it would have been. I'm just putting the pieces together. He would have been, for that era, he would have been quite an older father.
Yeah. Okay. And did he marry a younger woman? His second wife?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And she passed away about 2 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think men, when they do decide to have a different relationship, do you think in midlife, like Reggie and lots of other men that do make that decision, and women make that decision too, right? Do you think that they generally go for younger women because that makes them feel younger or more reckless or more alive, or?
When you talk marriage there, it's sort of, I don't know, to me, this is sort of two different things.
Yeah, okay.
I guess the stuff I read as well, and that, those points they were making about, men making more reckless decisions and being a little bit more sporadic.
Okay.
Yeah, so I sort of, in my mind, I associate that with if you want that with another person, then, that's chasing an affair or chasing a younger person.
The excitement. Okay. The excitement.
Maybe some lady boys in Thailand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, each to their own.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Everyone wants to try something. Yeah.
Yeah. And I didn't know. I was shocked. I'm not sure if they would then choose that person for a longer term partner. However, you see it. I mean, you see it anecdotally looking around. You see, and I see men who have already got a family, have divorced, and they marry a lady who has no children and is younger
and has more children.
That, and then they kick off again and have more children.
It's like starting over.
Yeah, well, not quite, and I'm not talking the Mick Jagger type thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm talking like, regular people, let's say.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was wondering, talking about, men exploring themselves and exploring younger women, and we're gonna go pretty deep here, right? Do you think that this is the age you talk about people when they're in college, right, exploring their sexuality and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that when people get to midlife, they also have that sort of idea to re-explore themselves and their sexuality?
Yes, I think that's a possibility. I don't know how to share this without directly. It's an experience that. So, how I met Reggie, like 20 or so years ago, is through a friend.
Yes,
and he's a spectacular guy. You know him well. And, lovely human being. And he hosts like they call it Monday night roast night, does a roast lamb and everything, and invites eclectic people there,
right.
people that he knows, people that he meets. And, you'd go there and you just would never know what's going to happen on the table, right? And none of this small talk about, what do you do? Not about occupations and jobs and that.
Okay.
It's about life and very philosophical or, big conversations.
I think we should start a group like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine all the content we would get for our podcast.
Can we cook lamb roast?
Well, you can.
Yeah.
No, you can.
Okay. So, one of those, there was, and this guy that we both know, a great cyclist, right? And someone in the cycle pack used to be a man.
Okay.
Yes.
And is now a woman?
Yeah. So it was over 50 years of age and everything. 2 children.
Yes.
Tall, like great cyclist as well, a tall man, right? Decided, to become a female.
Okay.
And everything. And went all the way.
Okay.
The whole overseas in Thailand, had the complete operation.
Right.
Absolute everything.
Okay.
Yeah. And
happy as.
Yeah, completely. And so I had 2 dinners with that person. Yeah. And it was so interesting, just finding and very interesting human. But the changes were quite amazing. Got back on the bike again and everything.
Did they look like a woman? Like, would you have thought otherwise? Would you have been, that's a very masculine woman? Or No. Looked like a woman.
It was like 6'3".
A tall woman.
And,
so it didn't look like a woman or did look like a woman?
Very pretty.
Okay.
Very attractive, like universally attractive. However,
is it because you knew?
Most certainly. I don't think anyone was going to be mistaken.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that person,
yes.
Did they have a partner?
Well, interestingly, after all those operations and everything,
yes,
she went out with a woman.
Oh.
And they got married.
Wow.
Yes.
So as 2 women.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I can relate to that.
Yeah. And I met her as well.
Yes.
And everything. And like I said, the person who was the man and became the woman, an amazing person. Played guitar and sung and everything.
Yeah.
And sings. And however, and I found it really interesting, forget the whole, should people change? Am I trapped in a body or whatever?
Yes.
I just really respected that must have struggled her whole, or for a period in her man life.
To fit in, absolutely.
And decided to completely change. So when we talk about midlife rebirth, I think
that was a real rebirth, right?
It's about as drastic as you can get,
Yeah.
And
that's pretty amazing.
I just think fantastic. You're happy and chosen a life there and wasn't a bitter person who tried to make a big deal out of society had done wrong on me or anything. It was
Now here's a question for you.
Yes.
Do you think that, and I can partly answer it myself, do you think that when we get to midlife, we want to explore these things that we've always wanted to explore? We're probably dissatisfied with where we are.
Yeah.
They're things that so we're looking at mortality, right? And we're becoming aware of that and thinking, I don't have a lot of time or much more time to do the things I actually want to do. So do you think that it also is about the fact that we don't actually care what other people think anymore?
I have a great deal of respect for people that can get to that stage and they can just question the rules.
Yes.
That they say,
yes.
who the hell are they? Exactly.
Yeah. The people.
The people, yeah. So I have a lot of respect for people who get to that point. And often it may take all of that frustration and that disappointment and perhaps that sense of loss in life and what could have been to get to that stage and realize that, you know what, these rules aren't serving me too well. Like, I've only got one crack at this life business and it looks like I've done about half of it. And I feel like I've done the last 10 or 15 years for everyone else.
Yeah.
So I've got a lot of respect for people who can question that.
Yeah.
And really not disregard it. I love how people can be consciously aware of the rules that are just irrelevant and find their true values or beliefs that are also in harmony with other people. So I'll choose to do something, that those people, anyone will choose to do something. And it's for their own benefit and they're making decisions in their best interest. However, if the ones who are doing that without doing it at the expense of others or at the detriment of others.
Someone's going to get hurt. I've lost both my parents, right? And I wonder if people are more open to changing their lives and coloring outside of those lines when they don't have the judgment of their parents anymore. So when we get to midlife, a lot of us have lost our parents, and it's possible that those rules were enforced by parents. So thinking about that person that you met, I wonder, were her parents still alive? Would her parents have approved once her parents, we don't know, right? We don't know her in that detail. However, I'm sure that there are a lot of people, especially with regards to culture and religion, that did the dutiful thing, right? Got married to the person that their parents approved of, did all the things that their parents wanted them to do in terms of even career, and then getting to a point, and then getting to a point where their parents either, are also at a point in their life, so they're like, I raised you wrong, do whatever the hell you want, or they're no longer around. So that judgment isn't there. You don't get that phone call from your mother saying, Samantha, why are you wearing such long dangly earrings? That's totally inappropriate for a lady. And I know that was something that happened to us, right? I said you commented on my earrings the one day and you said, oh, they're lovely. And I said, they're too long. They're great for behind a camera. However, my mum would have questioned, how ladylike those were. And then we were recording and that evening we were recording and I decided to wear even longer ones. And you said to me, I said, rebel. I am. I'm such a rebel. And I said, well, she's dead. She's not going to see it.
You know what? She'd probably be really happy to see you wearing them anyway.
I think so.
So good on you, girl.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So I think maybe that's it as well, right? I think the rules are generational. And sometimes when those generations are freed because the previous generation is no longer judging or no longer there, it opens up a whole new world.
I look at it, it's a great opportunity. Midlife rebirth, like taking stock of where you are, reevaluating what you're going to do in the future. And some people are going to feel really stuck, like they have no way of getting or moving, or like, where do I go? Where's the guide? Like, what do I follow?
I think a lot of people that hit midlife, this midlife rebirth, I don't know. And I would love to hear from our listeners on this, actually. I'd love to get some feedback on this. How many people that hit these realizations do it at the same time as their long-term partner? Because I think that is a very difficult and lonely place to be. And that feeling of stuck when you start realizing all of these things about yourself and about life, and you're sitting opposite the person that you've loved for 20, 25, 30 years, and you say to them, hey, don't you think that we should be doing more? Or what about we get that boat and, go up to the north of Australia or what about if we do this or this or this, right? And the other person's like, don't be ridiculous. We've got bills to pay. We've got children, you know.
Or you get right to near retirement or something. Oh. And I've seen this part a lot, and I think this is a bit sad. Yeah. Travel, and it's like he doesn't want to go anywhere.
Oh, or they go in a wheelchair.
And then the lady goes, that's like, what's that fantastic photo in Venice of like the guy on the gondola and the couple are fast asleep. They're like drooling out the side of their mouth or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
For older people, it's been a big day.
Yeah. All these responsibilities that are on our shoulders every single day.
Mm.
And I think that's something you said earlier. You said, you know, at some point we realized, hey, there's so much else to life other than these responsibilities and these blocks we put ourselves in.
Yeah.
These blocks of children and school and going back to university and career changes. What about life?
Mm.
And just experiencing the world and traveling and doing all of those things while you still can and you're still physically fit and able, because every year after you've hit this midlife rebirth, you know, you're getting older.
Yeah.
It's not like you're maturing. You're getting older, right? Yeah. So when do you want to experience those things? And with whom?
Now, we've both got a friend, and he just got back from Japan.
Yes. And did he come back?
Yeah.
Yeah. He took his mum.
He took his mum.
How lovely were those photos and videos?
Mum's, I'm going to say 9. No, she's not 90.
I don't know.
She might be close to.
She looks amazing.
Yeah, she's fantastic. Took her around in the wheelchair. Yeah.
Yes.
All around Tokyo and everywhere.
Yes.
And they had a fabulous time. Took the whole family, kids,
his kids
everyone.
went as well. That's right.
Yeah, which I think is a fantastic
3 generations
memory making. She would have been so happy, you know, to see her grandkids there running around and doing things. I mean, they're older grandkids as well.
Yeah.
You know, growing up. Yeah.
Yes.
And one of the things I was realizing, like I was fortunate enough to take my boys to Japan earlier this year, and just getting in a different environment and that constant stimulus of like different things and everything, I found that it just opens up, you know, different neuro pathways, right? Yes. And it just stimulates you, and all of a sudden you're in a different environment, you're becoming more aware of things, you're getting all this like exposure to, I feel it's like energy coming in for me.
Yes.
And it allows me to think differently.
Yes.
And I think that's a big thing. So when you talk about people who, you know, one of the partners might stay at home and go, I've got no interest in traveling overseas, and, you know, the wife is
it's going to put me out.
Yeah. Right? And so she goes and she's like, goes to Italy and does a painting class or you know. And
meets new people.
Yeah.
Tries new wine.
Yes, absolutely. You know, and enjoys all of that. And then you come back, and in that short, whatever that time period may be, you've experienced so many things, and you come back and it's like everyone's still in that same routine.
Yeah.
You talk to anyone who goes away for 6 months, a year, and, you know, I went away when I was young for almost 2 years.
Yes.
And I remember coming back and bumping into people on the first day I was back. For a start, I was like walking through shopping centres and just going, oh my God, Australia's so fat. We're all so big. I'd been in Japan for for a couple of years. So everyone's quite tiny, right? And I couldn't get over it. Because I'm so aware. However, you bump into people and, you know, it's like, oh, what you been doing? Oh, same old, you know, everything's the same.
Why do you think people get stuck in those ruts? What do you think it is?
I wanted to ask you about this in your experience with all the counselling you do and also the study and research you've done. That whole thing of...
No pressure. Yep.
No, okay. But like this must be a really big thing from a consumer side. So I know you've researched heavily into that. So that whole thing of homeostasis, like staying the same, and the expectation that things will stay the same. You think when a brand changes something, or when a government tries to change something, or we change a tradition, my God, people are like off their chops, right? It's like you can't, and it's got to be the same. And we often revert back to certain things, you know, being in a certain way.
Yeah.
Like I think the most classic thing was the beginning of like, you know, the COVID lockdowns. And we saw that streets were empty of cars largely. And all of a sudden there were like animals going through the middle of London and stuff, you know. And I thought, oh, wow, this might be a really interesting thing. Like school might be really different now as well. You know,
however, we went back to
And
we went back to the same.
The moment you had the chance, it's like nothing.
Yeah. Growth, self-growth, and growth in any area is it's limited by mindset.
Mm-hmm.
And even if it's familiar chaos or it doesn't give you everything that you want, it's familiar. And that in the brain creates a sense of safety. People stay the same because they fear change, because they feel that it's unsafe. And that's self-sabotage, right?
Right.
How are you going to grow? How are you going to do better? How are you going to learn more? Go back to university and midlife. And this is a perfect time for us to talk about it because people have this desire when they get to midlife. They look back, they ask the questions, is this it? Is this going to be the rest of my life? How many really make the changes? How many really make them? Or how many just fold and accept what they have? How many people are knowingly unhappy with how things have turned out? However, the fear of change keeps them in those patterns, keeps them going back to that familiar chaos, that familiar uncomfortableness. Even though it's uncomfortable, it's safe. And for the human brain and the reptilian brain, safety is number one.
Yeah.
So we fall back into it really, really easily unless we push ourselves. Pushing yourself is uncomfortable.
It takes energy.
And it takes energy.
Yeah. And discomfort.
Absolutely. And who wants to be uncomfortable?
Me.
Me too. I do too.
Yeah.
And that is a mindset. Mindsets have to be practiced. They have to become habits. They aren't natural. You don't naturally say, I want to be uncomfortable because I know that I'm going to grow, and I want to grow because it's going to make me better. However, if it makes me better, I might lose my wife because she doesn't want to grow.
Yeah.
I might lose the respect of my friends because they aren't interested in that. They want to sit around and drink beer all weekend and watch the kids jump on the trampoline. They don't want to travel. They don't want to do any of those changes. They want to save. They don't want to spend the money, etc., etc. Or with women who I coach, who, I look at things holistically, and I coach women if they are coming to me for business advice or they want to start a business midlife, which is really, really common.
Yeah.
It's also about health. You're not going to have the energy or the motivation to work those hours if you're not feeling good about yourself, if you're not feeling healthy. You are not going to go and network with a whole bunch of other women that look fantastic and have been doing it for years and are wearing great clothes and their makeup looks fantastic if you've been a housewife for 15 years and you don't feel confident. So what's easier? Putting yourself out there, making the change, your husband saying, why are you making these changes? What's going on with you? Going back to the gym, getting uncomfortable, sweating, being in pain, or staying the same. And everyone accepts you and loves you just the way that you are, except you.
Yeah. I found plenty of articles and stories that reference the amount of middle-aged women who go into natural bodybuilding.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I've seen this. It's quite, we live on the Sunshine Coast. It's a beach environment, and I've seen this being, it's quite popular to see many women, get to that age and go, hey, and they, I think it's that, part of that whole defying the odds and redefining yourself and showing that you can do it. And it's certainly to be successful or to do that well, you have to show a lot of self-discipline.
Yes.
And
over a period of time.
Dedication. Yeah.
Over a period of time. Absolutely.
And there's a whole heap of things that go with that, like the satisfaction of, being able to wear a bikini up on stage and look the best you have in forever or something. And
now, what do you think happens to the mind of her husband or all the other wives in their friend group that are still overweight and eating not so healthy food and not doing the, weekend trail runs or going to the gym and not mixing with the people that now this woman's mixing with that have those values and interests? Yeah. What happens to the relationship if they're not doing it together?
Yeah. I heard something the other day, and it was something about it was around friendships, and it was when you meet someone and have a friendship and life sort of throws you together to learn and experience things. And when that time is done, then that friendship is over. I think in that case, like take a woman getting into, doing natural physique sort of training and bodybuilding and stuff. Well, you may lose those friends who aren't going to be as dedicated to diet, or they won't stop drinking as much alcohol as you've been doing with them in the past. And I think with a partner, that can be really confronting, because it's like, well, hey, what happens if I'm not up to that? Like, I used to be in good shape and now I'm not in good shape, and now you're getting into great shape.
Yeah.
Where does that leave me? There's other guys that you're mixing with who are more dedicated
aligned
and more doing what you're doing. And
yeah,
maybe you start respecting what they do, and
that's right.
Don't show respect to me. And so it's a very threatening thing for sure.
Yeah. So I think a lot of people that go through these rebirths, it's not just their own lives that they're questioning, right? It's not just their own purpose. They start looking at their partners and their friends and saying, well, is that it for you? Is that all you want?
Well, yeah, you can get busy and life just drifts, hey? And all of a sudden it's a decade, and you might have gone, hang on, I've been so busy and so conscious about bringing up children or pursuing a career or like, amassing this, just trying to put this house together and own most of it, or, have my boat and fishing, whatever it is, that you just lose track. And so I think that's where it comes back to where we started at the beginning, that women bring up their sense of purpose. And, that would be confronting for a lot of couples. And I would imagine there must be an element of fear for a woman to bring that out, right? To start living that way.
Oh, absolutely.
Because she would be concerned about the judgment that comes with it,
and
perhaps the negative impact.
Yeah,
and any change, it's a loss. You're going to lose who you were.
Yeah.
And in doing that, you may lose friends and, perhaps your partner as well. And
there's this question, right? This duality of, and it's actually quite profound. When this happens, and I'm speaking on behalf of women, I don't know about men. When this happens, the woman has to look at, because it's not that she doesn't love her partner anymore. She doesn't love her friends anymore. She's choosing herself, and it's a self-love. And up to that point, when women get to that point of midlife, she's usually put herself behind her children, self-sacrificed her purpose, who she is, to raise children and to be a great mom with the pressures that come with that. And there's this duality of, I love myself and I love my family. I love my husband. I love my children. However, the breadth of life that I want to live and experience now, it doesn't live here anymore. So a choice has to be made, right? And the ultimate would be that her partner goes on that journey with her. However, some couples don't.
I'm going to come at it from a man's side.
Yeah,
I see the same.
Okay.
I see many men who tap back into, more adventure and decide to take care of themselves. They may have thrown themselves into a career or done many things and made sacrifices as well in the same way that their wife has with their children and their family, and that commitment that she has brought. He may be, not as well as being the provider, the guy who does everything around the house as far as like maintaining, fixing, improving, doing those bloke things. I'm talking about a handy bloke here. So those things. And then, I see it, we live in a beach area, right? And so I see it with guys surfing. They try and stay in shape so they can still enjoy surfing, because surfing's a wonderful thing. When conditions are there, it can really test you, and give you that little bit of fear and everything, and a element, a taste of success as well. And you can get a lot of enjoyment out of that. And you can also connect with your kids or just connect with mates with that. And so I see men here that their wives aren't like that. The other thing I've seen where people do come together on this in midlife, the kids have grown up. Some of them have caused them some real heartache and real challenges, and they've come together closer on that. And then they've managed to rekindle some of this like youthful, energy between each other. And I think they've been very good at questioning, hey, what do we really want to get out of life together? What are we doing? And they also acknowledge that, you've got a life and I've got a life, or they both have their own individual lives, and they let them pursue that as well. However, they'd make an effort to come together, a bit like the old couple at the restaurant. They made that conscious effort all the time. And I've seen that around. I think there's a lot of hope when you get to midlife, and this midlife rebirth is to, really you get that opportunity to at least talk about what's going on. And I think if you can approach that in a non-critical way and maybe go first by asking, your partner, hey, how you feeling? What's going on? What excites you? And maybe that can be really good pillow talk after you've had like a lovely little cuddle or something. That's when you do it, and you talk about, aspirations, and there's no tension then. And you can actually, just sort of lay things out a bit more like that. And then, perhaps that opens the way for you to be able to say, hey, this is how I'm feeling. I feel a bit tired. I've been working hard for the last 10 years and, it seems like we've got a bit of space now, and I really want to, get into these different things. Ultra running's a great example.
I can't, I find it difficult to understand how people in those types of conversations or situations, how they wouldn't want to get every ounce of life out of the life that they've got here. And we've had that conversation before where I said to you, I told you the conversation I had with my mother after she was diagnosed. And I went to go and see her, and I said to her, we can do anything. We can go anywhere. And she said to me, I've done that. I've been there. There's nothing more I want. And that's how I want to get to the end of my life. I want to get to the end of my life and say, I did everything on that list and I'm full. I'm satisfied and I'm ready to go. That was really profound for me. So, when we talk about this midlife rebirth, it is absolutely an opportunity to take stock. And if you have the opportunity to take stock with the person that you love in your life, that's an incredible gift. And if not, that's also okay. Don't give it up. Don't give it up. Yeah. It's like looking behind a curtain. When you have that feeling, that rebirth, you're pulling this curtain back and you looking and seeing what's there, and to just pull it in front of your face again and pretend nothing's behind that curtain, you can't do that. You can't do that because you always know there's something else out there. There's more.
Red pill, blue pill moment.
Absolutely. So it's really hard to go back, if not impossible, to go back to closing that curtain and deciding it's safe in here when you know what else there could be. Absolutely,
There's a lot more I could say. However,
I'm sure.
I think we've covered heaps there.
We have. I
think that's a good spot to finish on. Nice, positive.
Exciting.
Yeah.
What an amazing time in your life, in our lives.
Yeah.
Couldn't be better.
All right. So stay tuned until you get back to Between the Sheets podcast. Where we explore all the trials, tribulations, adventure.
Yes.
and excitement
Yes.
of midlife. Awesome. Thanks, guys.
See you, Brendan.